All right, we'll continue with Air Force. Joining Coach Joe Scott will be Jake Heidbreder and Carter Murphy. Again, we'll have Coach make an opening remark, then we'll take questions for the student athletes.
Well, I mean, it was a March college basketball game, that's for sure. So it's a lot of progress for us to do that. You know, like I told our guys, 2 years ago we got obliterated. Last year we got obliterated, and this year we're different. And it was important that we show that today. Our guys know that. We've made tons of progress, and no pun intended, we're climbing a mountain. And you know what? This is stuff you have to go through, and the first thing you got to do is do what we did today. You got to give them credit. You know, I mean, it was one of those it's a college basketball game. It's March. It's every little thing counts. You can point to anything at the end of the day, and give them credit for figuring out how to win a game in March where it's never pretty, it's never perfect. And like I said, give our guys tons of credit for growing and developing where, you know what, we don't need it to be perfect and pretty for us anymore. We just got to learn how to sort of take that next step, which is part of the mountain we're climbing right now. So, you know, but again, give them credit. Obviously, the kid Harkless, hell of a player. They're all over this league, so it doesn't matter. That's another thing, you know, you got to keep learning and dealing with. And as we get older and stronger and tougher, then I feel really good that we will get better in that area.
Okay, we'll take questions of student athletes. Down here in the front, right?
Luke, Colorado Springs Gazette. Carter, I mean, the second half of the year, you really seemed to find a groove. I mean, whether it was the UNM game, it was today, I mean, you really found a groove. What kind of changed for you that kind of the second half of the year that allowed you to be so successful, especially scoring?
I mean, it's just sticking with it and continuing to run the offense. And these guys are great. We set each other up. We play hard, and it leads to, you know, easy points. So just playing hard. That's nothing really changed. Just continue to stick with it. So,
Jake, similar question for you. It seemed like towards the end of the year you started to drive a lot more, really be aggressive towards the hole to kind of open up your shot. I mean, was that something you kind of thought about doing, or was it just kind of a natural progression of your sophomore year?
I think just getting better every day. Obviously, guys like to guard me pretty hard, so I think learning how to drive a little bit better and just working on my game in that aspect, I think, can open up other things for other people and myself. So I think it just comes along with the growth of my game.
Carter and Jake, this is for either of you. What makes it so difficult about guarding EJ? Because in both games you guys faced him, he had a lot of success. I mean, what makes it so difficult to guard him?
yeah, I got it. He can score from all three levels. I mean, he can shoot the three, shoot the pull-up, and get to the rim. So he's a tough cover, and you got to try to cover him with everyone on the team, not just one guy. And we just didn't do it quite enough today to get the win. So
that last sequence that happened, I mean, it started to get eerily similar to the last time you guys faced UNLV in that late lead kind of a situation to get the ball in bounds. What was kind of the plan for the end of the game? What went right? What went wrong? For regulation, I should say.
I mean, we had a play drawn up. It didn't go as planned, like we thought, as well as we thought it would, and just got a little chaotic, and we just didn't take care of the ball like we should have.
Well, we did get it. I mean, to be honest, to add to that, we wanted to get the ball to Carter in the post. We wanted to have Jake be the post feeder. We did it, and again, to me, it just didn't go our way. But we got the ball to Carter. Jake was the guy. Jake was going to come off another screen after that, and you know, I heard somebody in here say about I can't say his name, Zero, but Zero definitely came in and had an impact on the end of that game, and you know, that's again, give him credit for that, and just didn't. That possession just didn't go our way. I'm a little bit more the one before on it out of bounds. I wish that would have gone better, but like I told the guys, I have to do a better job in that area. We've been pretty good with that, but I'll take that in those two situations because that's where the game could have been won by us.
Carter, this being kind of the last stand for you, Nick, for Camden. I mean, what do you feel like you guys left behind in kind of keeping this final one close, reversing that kind of big losses in these tournaments? I mean, what do you hope you kind of left behind with this one?
Yeah, we've made a lot of progress, and I hope the younger guys have seen that we just got to come to work and work hard every single day, and progress will be made. It takes time, but we've made a lot of progress over the last 3 years we've had with Coach Scott, and you know, there's good things for these guys in the future. You just got to keep working, and yeah, good things will come. So.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you for your time. We'll dismiss you, and then we'll continue with Coach.
Thanks, guys. See you back at the hotel, right? Yep. See you, Carter. Yep.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll continue. Go ahead.
Joe, I mean, with the lineup change today, bringing in Carter, taking out Jeffrey and Corbin didn't really play today. I mean, what was the idea behind some of those adjustments, and what worked, what didn't?
Well, I mean, I think you've already alluded to it. Carter's just played really well. I mean, like I said to the team after the game, possibly the most important thing for us that our team and program was able to see was the value of having seniors, the value of having seniors who stick with it and, like Carter said, stay with it, because when you behave that way, it's like a human being quotient thing. Like right now, we're to the point where I think, like I've told our guys, we're fast enough, we jump high enough, we shoot well enough, we dribble well enough. Because how do you know? Well, the score's tied. We're playing in these games in this league like everybody else is, right? The difference is, right, we don't have a history of success. So now what's going to change that is going to be keep doing what we're doing. And then these younger guys saw the benefit of these three seniors and how they played the last month of the season and how it wasn't always great. But when you stick with it and you get to be a senior and you play that way, you saw those guys play that way. You know, I think Cam and Carter and then have done that consistently. Nick, to go what Nick went through, to do what he played last Saturday, how well he played there, the contributions. Like I said to our guys, well, that's what happens when you get seniors. We don't have any juniors. They're the only guys. If there were some juniors there with them, you know what? We would have taken a bigger jump this year. But we don't have those guys. So now that's where we're at for those guys, younger guys, to see a senior and see the effect of a senior and the impact they can have. That's huge for those guys because they have something to know, to have seen what we do, who we are, and when you get to be like that with all that experience, well, like Carter said, you're going to keep making progress, and I feel strongly we're going to. No, and the other thing was, you know, they've just been playing well. So at this time of the year, I think all over, you know, you go with the guys that are playing well. And that was really, you know, the whole idea behind it.
I know it's a tough juggling act with three seniors, lots of freshmen, lots of sophomores, especially when it comes to a tournament like this. There's not a lot of experience for some of those guys. Seeing how it all played out, is there any regret that maybe the seniors didn't play even more down the stretch, especially someone like Nick? He was the only one with a positive plus-minus tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think when you're building a program, when you're doing what you're doing, you know, I know for me, you know, you go with your gut, you go with what you see every day, you go with what's the long-range plan, how are we going to get there, we're not going to skip steps. And when you do it that way, I think you get a couple of these situations, you know, and that's the credit to Nick Jackson is, you know, things went well, and freshmen, as they go through the year, okay, they gave us, we got to the February, and you know what's required in February and March? Strength, experience. So again, that's why I say, for our guys to see that, because we haven't had that, to see that today, that's something that every one of these younger guys can take with them as they go into the off season and next year. How much stronger is Jake Heidelberg? You know, how much more developed strength, physical strength, age, experience. Ethan, I can name numerous guys. Well, that's what we have to do, and you know, that's what makes a season. Who keeps developing, who keeps coming along, who doesn't fall back, you know. And again, when you're juniors and seniors, you see guys be able to sustain that. When you see younger guys, you see, you know, ebbs and flows, and we went through that a little bit. But again, that's why I give these seniors so much credit. And now what they've shown all the younger guys is, man, there's so much room for us to keep improving.
Is there any sense, obviously you never want to lose three seniors, especially three guys like that, but is there any sense of relief knowing that next year I can focus all of my attention on the future, all in developing those juniors, those sophomores, these incoming freshmen, and not maybe have to worry about a senior class as much?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to have any seniors next year, so I spent all this time talking about seniors. I wish I was going to have some seniors next year. But I already alluded to that in that we don't have any juniors. If we had 4 juniors this year, coupled with those 3 seniors, I know how much, you know, with these little overtimes and one-pointers, well, that's usually the thing that turns that, you know what I mean? So next year we won't have any seniors. I don't know if that's a good thing, but we're going to make it be a good thing. We're going to work hard to do that, and we're going to keep making progress because we've made unbelievable progress in the program, and it's a credit to all the guys, and we're going to keep doing it, and we're going to keep climbing the mountain.
Last one. I mean, when you go into this off season and you're kind of putting things together, I mean, what's the vision for what you'd like this team to be in the future? What would you like it to look like next year, the following year when you have seniors once again? What do you want this to look like?
Well, that's a good thing right now. I want it to look exactly like it looks like right now, but when when the horn goes off, we got one more point than them, and that's the thing. Where's resilience come from? I don't wake up the next day after a 1-point loss thinking less of myself because the other team had 1 point more than us. What I do is I look at what we have, who we are, how grateful, how lucky we are to do what we do, and then try to impart that to our guys every day, because when you have that kind of attitude, right, you keep getting better. You value the opportunities that you have. We have an unbelievable opportunity, to have that gratefulness. That's what makes guys be tough. It creates toughness. It creates the resilience needed that we need. And that's why I feel really good that we're going to keep making progress. And that's really what it comes down to, us learning how to continue doing what we're doing, and then how do you learn, right? And that's usually the hardest thing. How do you learn? And well, I'm talking now about learning to win in the Mountain West. I'm not talking about learn. We already learned how to win non-conference. I'm talking about learning to win for real in the Mountain West. We won more league games. We won more road games. We wish it could have been more. I know it could have been. Well, that's all part of this journey. That's all part of this process. And I feel really good about what we have and how we're going to keep making that. And I know from personal experience, right, that it can be done. And we're going to keep working to keep riding up that. And we're not going to let anything get in our way. We're not going to get deterred because we're fortunate. When you know you're fortunate and grateful, you don't get deterred. When you're not like that, stuff gets in your way, and you'll give up the chase. But you know what? I know we're not going to.
Great. All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.